Hello, I'm Tom, and I've just completed my level 3 extended diploma in manufacturing engineering at Weymouth College. My brain can't connect and control my movement, so I'm a full-time wheelchair user.
When we first met Tom at an open evening, we sort of discussed Tom's mobility issues, his medical conditions.
My body decides that when it's under a lot of stress, that its best option is to sort of shut down and go into a seizure, which presents the same as epilepsy.
The complexity of the things that we as a college had to put in place to make sure that Tom was safe. We purchased some rise and fall benches so we could make sure that the machinery was at the correct height for Tom. It's little things. With Tom's condition, you can't just walk into a classroom and turn the lights on, for example, because that may in turn cause an episode.
My body's got like a defense mechanism. There's another way of trying to defend it from things that are stressing me out. It removes the memories. Because of this, quite often I've had to relearn or go back through a lot of the lessons because it's almost like it never happened.
Lucy, as one-to-one support worker, would sit there and she'd take extremely detailed notes that then Tom could relearn any of the subject knowledge.
I've started an engineering apprenticeship with a defence company, and I'm doing my HNC, so level 4 engineering.
The thing with Tom, which inspires me as a lecturer, and it inspired the rest of the group as well, the level of work and quality that was submitted was absolutely outstanding.
Also, from a very young age, I was diagnosed with fairly severe dyslexia. So I always had this thing of people didn't really expect that I'd achieve too highly because I would find it a lot harder to sort of understand things. It made me want to strive even more. So I was always looking at my predicted grades and going, I'm just going to smash that out of the park.
Hi, I'm Amy, and I studied performing arts at Derwen College. I got a learning disability. On my left eye, it doesn't work. I also have autism.
Amy is an inspirational young lady with a hormone deficiency. She's a force to be reckoned with.
I just love performing arts. It's a part of who I am.
She has embraced every opportunity within performing arts.
We tell stories to kids. One story that we did was Little Red Riding Hood. I wanted to try and make it a little bit funny, but just keep to the classic fairy tale, really.
Amy's shown the capability and skills and talent to be able to take on leading roles.
They wanted me to write something about disabilities, and I wrote a bit of a piece, and they said, Amy, we love it. We want you to stick it in the summer show. And I'm like, what?
She has also represented the college on the Student Union Board, being president 2 years running.
I feel like I wanted to give something back because Derwen let me in here and it's like a second home.
She did the opening speech at a conference in front of hundreds of people, all about further education and the impact of that and how it's changed her life.
I write speeches because I think it's important and empowering for, people like me to speak up.
During a time here, we spent some time working with a local TV and theatre company. They are currently working on a film. Amy was spotted.
They told me about the role and I was like, oh!
Amy is part of Henry House. It is based on a care home.
My character is called Lana.
They have actually written that role for her.
Judging by the script, really, her and me are probably the same. We both got big ears and we're both, speak up for ourselves, really, I suppose.
Hello, I'm Victoria and I have just graduated from Bansely College with a BA Honours degree in Sports, Physical Education and Health. At the age of 16, I got home from school and my whole family had moved to Spain without me. So my whole life's been survival mode, work, and even though I wanted to finish my education, I had nowhere to live, so my only option was to join the army.
So she came to us as a single parent, who'd just been in the army. She just overcome addiction.
I walked through Barnsley College doors in 2019, a broken woman after having to leave the army with injury. I didn't even have the confidence or think I was good enough to study.
It takes incredible bravery, I think, to come back into education.
I'm 20 years behind most other students, so I had to just explain to my children, look, I love you, but this is my chance to make a better life for all three of us.
Apart from being a fantastic student, she would always help in others.
Coming from the pandemic, people cannot afford sports anymore. And I just thought how sad our children are going to be sat indoors watching TV, playing on devices, and I hate that.
During lockdown, she set up this Get Fit with Vic intervention that brought a deprived community together.
I'm very into my fitness anyway as a personal trainer. So I wanted to make it something short and sweet for children to understand. Get Fit with Vic, come along. Primary school children, they may want to get involved in sports, don't have the money to, and here I am as your coach, getting you out, and we're all part of one big community, little family team, and that was everything to me. The parents around here really thanked me for it, because there's a lot of parents that have maybe mobility issues, addiction issues, that just don't do nothing with their children. Well, I'm not having that, I'll do it.
She achieved a first-class degree.
So I'm hoping this time next year I'll have a master's degree in health psychology, and I can go on and work counselling people that want to better their lives.
Hi, I'm Safaa and I'm studying maths, further maths, biology and PE at Bansely College. My mum had suspicions that I was dyslexic, so I got diagnosed quite early compared to some people.
She hasn't made it an issue, but it will be affecting her. She will be having to work a little bit harder. She's currently studying the equivalent of 4 A-levels. She's a very bright student. She's on track to be getting A stars and A's.
It was about year 9 that I really went, oh, the environment is something important and I care about this. And I'd be like, there's so many problems, but there's so many easy solutions. And that's when I got involved in Barnsley Youth Council and the UK Youth Parliament, because I was like, I think I can do something about it because I know what we're supposed to be doing.
It's not every day that you get students in this area who fully embrace such activist behaviour.
I came in first thinking about transport. I also speak about recycling a lot. So I spoke to the councils and I said, we need recycling bins in and around town. So I met with lots of people over a few years and I said, yes, we do, we agree. So it is making a difference, a small difference, a slow difference, but it's actually having an effect.
In a half-term holiday, she's planting trees.
We got a plot of land and we cleared it and then we planted 450 other trees. We did that in the dead of winter.
She's spoken, at quite a prestigious event with the COP26 conference.
We started to work with a group of young people in South Africa, and we wanted to create a project we could take to COP26.
She brings all that kind of wider knowledge to Barnsley Sixth Form so that other students are becoming more active as well.
And I want to continue pushing because I want something to change, and I'd rather push really hard and have to put in some effort and see the change than do nothing, have a good time, but not see a change.
Hi, my name's Sarah and I've just completed my demolition standard apprenticeship with London South East Colleges. Currently, I'm working with Erith. The site that I'm on at the moment, which I'm sitting in now, is a block of flats, and the noise that you can hear is them breaking with the machines from the top floor down to here.
The brand new apprenticeship started 2 years ago with Sarah's cohort.
I was actively looking for a job to get into, and after I went to the open day, I just knew that I wanted to do it.
Sarah was the first apprentice to pass the standard. She was the first female apprentice to pass the standard, and she's also the first apprentice to get a distinction.
So where it was the first time that anyone had done the apprenticeship, it was hard to know what to expect, and it wasn't like I could go and ask someone who'd done it before. So I had to make sure that I was prepared by going to the endpoint assessment site beforehand and making sure that I knew what the criteria was.
The majority of the apprenticeship was delivered in a variety of situations to include all of the techniques that they need to use.
There's been some sites that I've been on that used big high reach excavators. The site that I'm on now, we're using smaller machines, excavators, skid steers. We have dumpers, cherry pickers. Like this morning, I broke out a block wall with a sledgehammer. Each site that you go on can be completely different, and each day can be different. And smashing things is always fun.
I think generally being a female in a male-orientated environment may have been a challenge.
I'd like to continue working on the site for a while, get some more experience on different sites because there's so many different aspects of demolition. I want to really further my knowledge before I start progressing, which will then be to supervisor and site manager.